Hi, this is Sharon McNall, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and you can find me at inspiredbygram.com. Today we're going to make a friendship card using the Mosaic Mood Specialty Designer Series paper, and the ink colors we'll be using are Soft Suede and Blushing Bride. So let's get started creating the card. All right, so let's just talk about the Mosaic Mood Specialty Designer Series paper. So for myself, I have all the Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. So this is the first time I've actually done this, first year, where I've cut out, this is a 2x2 square, and I added it to a piece. This is very vanilla here. I added the name of the paper, the item number, what page you can find it on, and all of the coordinating ink colors and cardstock that the paper goes with, and what suite it coordinates with. So this coordinates with the Mosaic Mood suite. Also down below, I punched out 1-inch circles of the cardstock. So we've got Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Garden Green, Mint Macaron, Soft Suede, Terracotta Tile, Very Vanilla, and Whisper White. So all coordinate nice with the card or Designer Series paper. So to make this card, again, you'll have to fussy cut. And what I did is I have 2 baskets. I have 1 basket full of hummingbirds here, all different kinds, and they're all been fussy cut out. I used my paper snips that you can purchase from Stampin' Up. They look like this. And then I also cut out all of the big flowers from the specialty paper. So there's just another basket here just full of flowers. So that's just like the longest part of making this card. Really, it goes, once you have it all cut out, it works and goes together real nice. So I've got a piece of cardstock, a white cardstock. This is thick, and your Whisper White thick cardstock would work best for this. So you have a nice firm card base. So this is cut 8.5 by 5.5, and I just scored it with my bone folder at 4 1/4. The Designer Series paper is a 2-inch by 5.5-inch piece, and what I'll do is I'll just add my adhesive. Any adhesive will work, and we'll just add it to all 4 sides. And again, this is cut 5.5 inches long, and it should go top to bottom. So we're just gonna add, turn my cardstock this way using my grid paper, and I'm just gonna match it up. The corner up there and the corner down there, and bingo, it's all set. All right, so the next step you're gonna wanna do is, let me just bring in an example here, where this sentiment here is more of kind of like a square, and this other one here from Part of My Story, this is more of like, you know, it's a tall and skinny sentiment. So I highly suggest that you stamp your sentiment on your card base first, and then you'll place your flowers. So let's bring in my soft suede ink. And again, we're using the Strong and Beautiful sentiment. We'll just ink that up, and we're going to stamp it right down in the lower corner. All right. So it's humid day today, so I'm going to actually just let that stay out there for a little bit, because it'll just take an extra 10 seconds or so to dry. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in that basket full of hummingbirds, and I'm also going to bring in the flowers. So I've got to find a couple flowers that are going to go with this design here. And what I do is I just take them out of my basket. Again, it's so much easier to cut them out ahead of time. And for placement, where do I want them? So I think I'm gonna maybe try to go up here, and then maybe swing this one. Oh, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go, might look better this way. Fill up that space there, slide this leaf underneath, and we'll go there. So I think that's what I'm gonna use. So you're gonna wanna adhere this small one first, and then this one's gonna go over top of the smaller one. So let's just get this one out of the way, and we'll just add my adhesive. Any adhesive will work here, liquid glue, your snail, whatever. So I'm just going to put this down here in the lower, right above that sentiment. And now I'm going to put more adhesive on the larger flower, just making sure I go to where the leaves are. Okay, let me just bring in the card again. And I'm just gonna look, because I want to get it up as high as I can. And you gotta make sure that your leaf doesn't go over the edge. So that looks pretty good. Now for the hummingbirds in this designer series paper, there are some hummingbirds, let me just get them down here on the camera, that point to the right and some that point to the left, and then there's some that are cut off. So we're going to talk about this for the inside of the card, but I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So you got to determine which hummingbird's going to work best for your layout. So do you want this one going up here, because you know hummingbirds go to the flowers for the nectar here, or do we want it to go this way? So I'm thinking I'm going to use this one and point it up to that larger rose here. So to do that, I'm going to flip my hummingbird over, and I'm looking for my dimensionals. So I've got a few left on this sheet here, and I'm just going to add them throughout. And I think that's good. Yeah, that looks good. Now you can't add it to the beak here because it's just too narrow. But actually I might add another smaller one right up here. So to do that, I'm just going to take my Take-a-Pick tool, and I'm just going to pull that off, and I just find it a lot easier to place it there. So that's going to give the head of the bird a little bit more support here. So now we just have to simply remove the backings, and I just press on the back side because they'll come off so much easier. And on a humid day, these Stampin' dimensionals, they're so super sticky. All right, so I've got them all off, and again, I'm just going to point this up to that rose, and I'm going to give it a nice little press. Now for the inside. All right, so the one that I did previously, let's see, where is it? Right here. This one, I fussy cut out a butterfly, and I just popped it up with a dimensional, just a mini dimensional. On this one, we're going to use a hummingbird, and I want to show you how you can take advantage of these hummingbirds. So this is a different one, but what happened was how the paper, it was printed on the paper, some of the parts of the hummingbirds do get cut off. So on this one here, the tail's cut off, and we know the tail extends in real life, and same with the wing. But I just want you to know, you can still use these, okay? So all I did was I fussy cut them out, and I wish I knew where my silicone mat was, somewhere in my craft room. So what I did was I just lined this up against the score line of my card base and just press it down, and that makes a really nice inside image. Now you can stamp whatever you want on the inside. A lot of times I leave mine blank, and that works for me. So I would just give this another little burnish with my bone folder here. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to stamp the back side of the card. So because I sell my cards, I need to put my personalized information on the back side. So I'm just using the soft suede ink. It's got my name, my name of my company, and my address. And I'm going to ink up the Stampin' Up! Copyright. And we are covered there. So that's that. The card is finished. Now we're going to bring in the envelope here. So to do that, I used the Mosaic, let's see, it's the Mosaic Mood, I don't think that's the name of it, but I'll put it in the description below. But to create this border here on the envelope, all I did was simply use my soft suede ink and my Blushing Bride ink. And this is the old style here. I've got to get a new one. But I start with the little flower, and I'm going to do that in the Blushing Bride, and I'm going to start in the corner here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this design. Again, this is actually a cling stamp too, so in another video I'm going to show how to mount your cling stamps as well. Some people are having a difficult time with them, and I did too at first, but I think I've got it down. It just takes a little bit of practice. So what I'm simply doing is I'm stamping one image twice, so I'm not having to re-ink, you know, instead of going the blushing bright, soft suede, blushing bright, soft suede, etc. I'm doing two, so I'm not constantly changing out. So we're gonna stamp that, and we'll stamp on this corner. Now we'll ink up again with the blushing bride. Rotate your envelope and stamp again. Now we'll just do the same thing. And we'll just get this little small portion there. And then blushing bride one more time. I think this is a cute little design that matches with the card very nicely. So there you have it. So the last thing is we want to always add a little, not always, but if you're like me, I like to add a little bling to my cards. So we are going to be using the basic adhesive backed sequins, and they come in 5 different colors here, and they all coordinate nicely with the Mosaic Mood Specialty Paper. So what I did was I mass produced, I think, 10 of these cards for a customer. So when I got to this step, I just laid these all out, and I know you probably can't see all of these on camera here, but I'll do the best I can here to get them in the camera. All right, so I use my Take a Pick tool, and I'm going to just, what you have to be careful about is there's a glue dot underneath the sequin here, and you got to take your tool and press it underneath. All right, let's bring our card in. That way your glue dot stays on the back of the sequin. And I'm gonna put 5 out, so that's one color. And then I'm just gonna grab another one, and I'll maybe put this one over here. And this is a petal pink color here. Let me put that one over here. I think this one's mint macaron. Maybe I'll just put that up there for a little bit of color. And the last one is, I think this is white, whisper white. And I'll add this one down there. Just so the sequins just add a little bit of bling to your card. This will still mail a normal postage, so that's what I like about that too, is it's very flush, and you'll be able to get away with that in the mail. So there you have it. So you've got all your sequins here. And what I do is I store these in a Stampin' Up! Stamp case, and they'll be great to store that way. So here's our matching envelope and our card. So I hope you enjoyed today's card, and I hope it inspired you to cut up your Mosaic Mood Designer Series paper. For all your Stampin' Up! Needs, you can visit me at inspiredbygram.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.